Om Trudevibhyo Namaha.
Om Trivibhyo Namaha.
Namaste, everyone, and welcome back to our Saturday session. Several of you called me in the last 2-3 weeks about doubts, etc., that you had with whatever we have been learning. So, especially one of the themes that emerged was keeping discipline in life, in sadhana, etc. So, I thought let's pick up a theme of discipline of a sadhak, and then within that address all the questions that you have about the various things that we are looking at. So, I will throw the floor open to all of you, so you can pick up and choose your questions that you had for today, and let's get ahead with it. Who wants to start?
I would like to start, Dada. Pranam.
Namaste.
It has been quite a while, close to a year, that we are under your guidance and mentorship of being a sadhak. And it's been a beautiful inner work journey. And so in this context, something that has been, while we have been experiencing, I would like you to encapsulate what could be the discipline that a sadhak needs to hold in this entire journey.
Makes sense. Lovely question, Sangeeta. And, your clarity and results is your effort. And I keep saying this, that the more effort a sadhak puts, the more God supports them. So God bless you for all the support that you've been giving your own self through your sadhana. Now, your question is amazing, actually, and it actually can encapsulate the entire spirit of being a sadhak. And this is a very misunderstood concept. Let me start with some funny anecdotes for all of you. Have you seen there are several people around us who walk around and claim to be spiritual? They have this whole thing of I am wearing beads, and then there is this Rudraksha sort of attempt. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with wearing beads or Rudraksha, but that Adambar is not sadhana, right? Or you claiming that, I stay away from religion, I am very spiritual. Okay,
Yes.
what does that even mean? Because a very important aspect of sadhana and spiritual life or adhyatma is to even understand God, nature, all of these things. So there are several misunderstandings about sadhana, and this stems from the indiscipline of a sadhak, Sangeeta.
Okay.
Now, what are the indisciplines? And through the indiscipline, I will explain the discipline of a sadhak. The first principle a sadhak needs to master is having clarity. What is the adhyatmic journey? What is the spiritual journey itself? Right? Now, in our Sanatana tradition, coming from the entire Vedic origins and all the way down to the various tantra that Shiva himself originated, there is a certain meaning of sadhana to be understood. If you were following Buddhism, there is a certain way that it needs to be understood. And there are so many other practices by which you can be. I will stay to the context of what I operate in, Sanatana and the old Vedic tradition. For us, the biggest clarity that we need to have is of the word sadhana itself, Sangeeta, and others. Right? So,
Okay.
using Hindi a little bit, man ko sadhana, tan ko sadhana, or jeevan ko sadhana. How do we tighten up, right? So, loosely translated or transliterated, that word sadhana, to man ko sadhana, or to sadha the mana, is basically to tighten up your mana, tighten up your physical life, tightening up life itself. That's the first clarity that we need as a sadhak. Right? And that clarity then means that sitting down for 30 minutes, 40 minutes and doing some japa, doing some mantra is japa, doing some meditation or dhyana, doing some prakriya of yoga, that doesn't entail sadhana. Your entire life has to be one of a sadhak. Isn't it? To which there is a thing that I keep saying several times in my video and in our classes also, I've said this. Shri Krishna explains that the best. So a sadhak has to understand and have the clarity that I am on the path of three things. Number one, I am on the path of Jnana Yoga, which means what? To understand nature, to understand the Pancha Mahabhutas, to understand what is a jeeva, which is each of us in that focus. Within the jeeva, then there are the vikaras, the gunas which have risen, or the value systems that we carry, the gunas which have still not presented themselves, which is all our reactions and pratikriyas that can happen at different points in time. So that's the first aspect, to have understanding of Jnana Yoga. Whoever is the guru will give you that understanding through the tradition that they follow. If you're following a yoga tradition, if you're following a Vedanta tradition, if you're following a Nyaya Vaisheshika tradition, each of these darshanas or Sankhya each of these darshanas will give its understanding to the sadhak. So that clarity, Sangeeta, is very important. Then, what do I do with that understanding? Involve in karma yoga. Second, and that's what Sri Krishna stressed so much. In fact, his entire argument to Arjuna was, pick up your bow and do your karma. Because your Kshatriya dharma encourages you to do certain things. So understanding all our dharmas, Manushya dharma, Vishesha dharma, then our dharma towards devatas, rishis, and I've explained this so many times in various conversations, that all the runas that we carry, we have a dharma towards that. So that's the second clarity that we need to have. And the third clarity we need to have is the concept of bhakti. And which is where there are some aspects of understanding Ishvara, and then our own definitions of Devis, Devatas, Navagrahas, their importance, why there have been personifications of these, which is a Maya definition, So when you see a statue or when you see a certain idol or an image, so that's a Maya version of the Ishwar, Devi, Devatas. Then there is the experience of the Devi or Devata, the japas that you do, the way you connect to them, the way your personal connection, personal love for them is, all of those. So understanding those. So that's the first discipline that we need to have, the clarity. Right, Sangeeta?
Yeah, this is really well explained. And it has a lot of connect to the classes, the sessions that we have been having with you, and experiencing each aspect of the Jnana Yoga, how to follow our Karma Yoga in the existing chaos, and the Bhakti, the japas, etc. All of them coming together to live the life of a sadhak.
Absolutely. Connect all of them. And living the life of the sadhak, which is the other side. So along with clarity, you need to have the Shuddhi. So that entire series that I have spoken about and that I also support you, which is speaking about how my sharirik or physical Shuddhi, environmental Shuddhi is, then my manasik Shuddhi, then my karmic Shuddhi, and my adhyatmic Shuddhi is. So the fundamental discipline of a sadhak is to carry clarity and Shuddhi. Clarity, because human beings operate out of intellect. Our buddhi has to support us. Our buddhi should not give way to Ahankara. Our buddhi should give way to sadhana. The opposite of sadhana is Ahankara.
You have explained that very well in a recent video about how doing karma, it leads to success, and the success leads to Ahankara in many of us.
Yes.
And that is leading to the chaos. That's a very beautiful video that you have recently released this week.
Thank you. It came with all the conversations that all of us have been having. So, what I said very clearly there was, when success happens, if you're not a sadhak, Ahankara will hit. Even for sadhaks, Ahankara hit. I mean, look at Ravana, such a great sadhak. But when success came, he himself lost control. Such is the nature of Ahankara. And even after being a sadhak, unless you are submitted to your Ishvara, to your Ishta Devata, Shraddha, Saburi, Samarpana, Ahankara will come. Right? Hope that answers your question on discipline. What is the
Very
discipline
well.
sadhak? Okay.
Very well. Very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Jai Mahakal.
Kal.
Jai
Jai
Mahakal. Jai Mahakal.